This week, the remote viewers were tasked to look at a target that's quite popular to many of you out there. This is where the science meets the woo, and our viewers brought back some fascinating data. I'm joined with Daz, Naeem, and Dick. Edward's going to join us later. We're going to take a look at what they explored this week. Starting with Daz, I'm going to do a quick check in how he's feeling, what your impressions are overall with this target.
Oh, I don't know. This target was weird for me. I'm just trying to look for it now. I had all this weird stuff about a very strange burst of energy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an abstract target. You guys are all on target. When I give you the feedback, you'll see why. But it's a very abstract target. But it was pretty cool. Nicely done. Naeem, how do you feel about your work this week?
This one felt like it had a couple different things to it. Some energy stuff, some
Yeah,
sciency stuff, and a little bit of woo-woo
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And I think that sums it up perfectly, honestly, when you find out what the target is. Dick?
Okay, on this one, I felt like I was channeling a theoretical physicist, but I don't understand theoretical physics and I don't have the lexicon to explain the concepts that were flooding into my brain. So I was,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I was like, whoa, what is this?
You drew a sketch that I'm going to share when we get into the analysis portion of like a globe within a cube.
Yeah,
And
I
it
was
actually,
trying to describe
Mhm.
different dimensions
Yeah,
and how do you, on a two-dimensional page, explain
right.
fourth and fifth dimension. So,
Well, I think I found hard feedback for that
oh,
specific
really?
sketch. Yeah, last minute. I added it about 20 minutes ago to the presentation, so it's pretty cool. So we'll get into that. So why don't we go through our data and have a discussion about it? Dad, starting with you, take us on that walk on the wild side here.
Mine's definitely a little bit weird on this one.
Okay.
Mhm.
You all were looking at Skinwalker Ranch, a mysterious signal that has been appearing in several experiments that they have been doing. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, this mystery signal that shows up. So here's the sub cues coming from the tasker. The remote viewer is to view the mysterious signal source that they are investigating in the June 14th, 20 in June on June 14th, 2022 on Skinwalker Ranch. Remote viewers are to describe the signal's purpose and or where it originates from and all adjacent data. So, looking at Skinwalker Ranch, this signal recording date. In the episode where the team broadcasts a strange signal recording on Skinwalker Ranch property over a local radio station, so what happened is they identified this signal, and then a radio station was also picking it up. They went to the radio station and had the radio station take some time and broadcast the signal outwards. They transmitted it to see what was going to happen. The episode's titled "Where's the Smoke?" and it's part of the series, obviously, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Radio enthusiasts have noted this signal frequency range is mainly in the spectrum that is used mainly for satellite communication. So they receive this signal when they're doing experiments, and then they broadcast it out, and they got some reactions with some UAPs and stuff in the episode. Okay, so the local radio station was getting their signals jammed by this phenomenon, and you can see that's what it was showing up as. And in the episode, they explain, if you can see, a normal transmission, no matter what kind of content is playing, is usually just a low level flat. If you can see that low baseline at the bottom. When this signal transmits, it creates this spike that you're seeing there in the middle, and they don't know where it's coming from. They pinpointed the signal coming from a potential collapsed cave at this point in the mesa here. So this small area on the property of Skinwalker Ranch, previously known as Sherman Ranch, is a property of approximately 512 acres located southeast of Ballard, Utah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know what to make of it all, really. As with the whole Skinwalker ranching, I don't know what to make of all that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it. Really, I'm a bit perplexed by what's going on there.
I,
It kind of makes
yeah.
sense though with the data that we brought back. 'Cause it does seem to match the experiences that the people are having there.
Yeah, for sure it does. And I think it's interesting that the biological stuff you guys were getting. We
Mm.
don't have any real feedback on a lot of that yet. but you all had elements of it. And I think that's important to note. We don't know what's going on, what's beneath the surface. Why do they have these
Yeah.
reports of these skinwalkers and seeing all these mysterious beings? Like we read Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, right? Where they
Yeah.
had the hitchhiker effect and everybody was seeing these weird things. I don't know what's going on with it, but I
No,
think
no,
it's
very
curious that
strange.
we have these weird chimera shaped beings that show up there, and you guys are getting this biological manipulation data. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. It's all very strange.
Yeah. Naeem, thoughts, feelings, reactions.
Very interesting. After seeing the reveal there, I felt like I was really over it right here,
Uh-huh.
like during this portion of my session.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say in that vegetation area nearby, maybe that's where some of this is coming from. Um, Hidden in within this area, some kind of my take is some kind of antenna, or there's
Hmm.
something giving off a signal from in that area. So maybe in a future episode they'll find
Yeah.
something there.
Yeah. That was a great sketch. That was definitely, I think, the heart of it, Naeem. Nicely done. Dick, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was interesting. They called the place the Triangle, and I had land with three
Hmm.
points. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got the mountain there. Something out of the ordinary is going on there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely is. You guys did a great job dissecting it. This was a fun target. I think there's a target where it's woo, but there's some really good tangible feedback for you guys to look at too, which is always nice.
Yeah, the target was very interesting. We all seem to pick up on lots of signal type data, which was and quantum came up a lot,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. I don't know how that works with the 1.6. Is it gigahertz that they're
I think
picking
it's
up there?
gigahertz. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Which
It's a mystery, but uh, I think we got some data that correlates with some very strange stuff that's happening on that location.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I encourage those of you watching to watch the debrief, which will be out after this video.
Mm.
It's a fun one for sure. Naeem, reactions to our recent target.
We did Skinwalker Ranch a while back, and in that session I had some underground stuff, some stuff in the mesa. I think this is probably another one of those kind of hidden, underground or somewhere in that area. Um, there's definitely something going on there. It's whether it's like legit UFO stuff or if it's like a secret, maybe like a secret government program.
Right.
Something definitely bizarre going on in that area.
Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get some even more solid feedback on that one. But you had some great sessions, Naeem. Really good job. Dick, thoughts and reactions to this one?
While I was working this target, I was editing a presentation for the upcoming remote viewing conference. And uh, it's me at the whiteboard talking about concepts of how remote viewing works. And there's one section where I had this graphic going, and I wanted to convey the idea of this mysterious signal. Now I'm editing this thing, and then I go, I've got to get this remote viewing target done. So I shut down and I remote view the target, and then I get done with that and I go back to editing, and I'm editing me standing there, and I'll show the clip at a later date where I just was compelled to throw in I need this sound of like I put like radio static like going through the dial like, and then I would beep, 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 beep. And I kept editing that sound in, and I was running it, the final mix through our editor, Roger, and he kept going, that radio signal background sound is really distracting. It really it just jumps out, and it's really not good, Dick. You got to lose that. And I was going, no, no, I want to convey this idea of a signal. That's this mysterious signal out of nowhere. And he kept saying, don't use that. And it's still in there. I kept turning it down, then turning it back up. It was kind of like akin to Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters, where he's
Uh-huh, the mashed
making stuff with his
potatoes.
mashed potatoes,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
makes that Devil's Tower go, I want to put this signal in my video. And so I I close that out. Like, I got to stop editing. I'm going to do a whiteboard on this. I go, this signal. So I go back to editing. I go, no, I want to put that in.
And that's
So,
exactly what it was in the episode. When they played it audibly, it sounded just like that. And they said, oh, it's got to be some kind of communication. So really cool how that bled over. Very cool.
well, let me see if I can find it. Well, I'll do it later because it's a big file. I don't want to go find it. But yeah, that's the weird little stuff that happens when you remote view. It
Yeah,
all
things.
bleeds over. It all one big bowl of soup.
So great job on this one. The mystery deepens as we continue to explore things like this. And for those of you watching, for those of you that are fans of the show, what other feedback do you have? What other connections can you make? What is really happening at Skinwalker Ranch? Let us know your comments and feelings on that one. And that's going to do it for this project. So, on behalf of Daz, Naeem, Dick, Edward, and the rest of the Future Forecasting Group, Dennis Nappy II, thanks for watching.
Watch the full debrief at ffgrv.com.